Hi, welcome to our special web chat. I'm Carmen Harris. I'm a healer and a writer.
And I'm Sara Ellis. I'm a hypnotherapist and broadcaster on Untangled FM.
And we're introducing a special person who's come all the way from LA to the UK, and his name is
Dr. Eric Pearl, world-renowned healer. We're going to be speaking to him. He's chosen us to speak to.
Yeah, and it's based on his seminars that are coming up this Friday, the 21st of September. And we're really excited.
So excited.
So let's go with it. Hi Eric, welcome to London.
Thank you.
I'm Carmen.
Yes, and
I'm
I'm Eric.
Sarah.
And you're Sara.
Oh, lovely
Hi.
to meet you. We're so excited you're here. Really great to have you in London.
It's my pleasure.
When was the last time you were here?
I think I was here, I was here about a month or two ago to do a little bit of media. But then, other than that, it was a good 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So we're blessed to have you here.
Well, I love London, and I've got friends living here, so it's always nice to come visit.
So you're going to be partying as well as...
No, I
Let's
think
turn your
I've
workshop.
done some of my partying so far. Tonight I will stay in.
I've got Eric's book here, and your workshop is based on this book, isn't it? The Reconnection.
Yes, it is.
Yeah? Do you want to tell us a little bit about the book?
Sure. The book was written basically in 3 parts. The first part of the book explains how this came about, how it evolved. Then the second part goes into the philosophy and the science of it. And the third portion is a basic how-to. So it teaches you how to begin to access this work for yourself, for your family. Now, again, it's the beginning of accessing it. It doesn't make you a reconnective healing practitioner any more than reading a book on dentistry or hairstyling makes you a dentist or a hairstylist. You know, you can't go out and open up your own shop and say you're a professional, this, that, or the other. You will take better care of your own hair and your own teeth, which is good. You'll take better care of your health, you know, and you can work on your friends and on your family. But to become a practitioner, you probably want to attend the seminar. There's a lot of guidance in the discovery of this that can really happen best when you're interacting with another human being, with the teacher.
So can we go back just a little bit?
Sure.
And is there some way that you can sum up what the Reconnection is all about?
It's us reconnecting to our original fullness as spirit, our essence. Often it's what people speak about when they say they've had the life after death experience. They've experienced that light and that awareness, that oneness, that love, that unity. Oftentimes after people receive a reconnective healing, they say they don't know where they were. They weren't awake. They weren't asleep. They were somewhere even more real. And it allows us to experience that here while we're in physical form on this earth plane. So it's really reconnecting with the truth, the essence, the spirit of who and what we are. I would say a facilitator of healings, reconnective healing practitioner. It's a funny thing with the word healer. It's really semantic. It's not so much the word, it's your intention of how you use it. It's like calling yourself God. Well, you know, none of us are God by ourselves, and yet we're all expressions here of God, of love, of the universe.
Yes.
Every ray of the sun is an expression of the sun, so in essence it's the sun, but it's not the sun by itself, and yet holographically it contains the sun. So in a sense, holographically, we are representations of God, love, and the universe. Holographically, we're healers. But I just find that by referring to it as a healing practitioner, it helps keep a little more perspective.
Okay.
The basic background story, maybe if I tell you a little bit about that.
Yes, please do.
That would be a good idea, because then we'll get a better understanding of this. I was a chiropractor. I practiced for 12 years, and one night a few strange things happened. I was awakened in the middle of the night by a very bright light. I opened my eyes to see what it was. It wasn't anything seemingly spiritual or metaphysical. It was just a lamp next to my bed and had for some reason decided to turn itself on. I'd had that lamp for a good 10 years. It hadn't selected any other propitious occasion to self-ignite. But yet there it was. And at the same time, I felt clearly as if there was somebody in my home. So much so that I got up with a knife, a can of pepper spray, and my dog, and I went hunting through the house. Couldn't find anyone. Convinced myself it was my imagination, I went back to sleep. But on that Monday, 7 of my patients, out of the blue, began to tell me that they were feeling people in the rooms in my office with us, the way I had been feeling people in my home. Some said it felt as if people were standing or walking. Some said it felt as if people were running. 2 of my patients even looked at me straight in the eye and said it felt as if somebody was flying around the ceiling. Now, having practiced for 12 years, no one ever saying anything remotely like that to me before, you would think 7 people in one day would get my attention. But other patients simultaneously were saying to me, I can feel your hands before you touch me. And I'm thinking, oh yes, sure you can. Lie down, close your eyes. So they closed their eyes. I held my hands anywhere from inches to feet to meters away from them. And they could tell me what direction my palm was facing, toward their feet, towards their shoulders.
At the time, were you feeling anything in your palms?
Yes.
Yeah? What were you feeling?
Interesting sensations. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Here, give me this hand for a second. Open your fingers. Okay? Now, see the way they begin to move? Can you see that or no?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Okay.
I can see one of my fingers.
See how that one makes your finger kind of
Yeah.
go up and down vertically?
Yeah.
Now, when I'm doing this, you either feel nothing or you feel something. You tell me. It's all right if it's nothing. It's all right if it's something. It's just not all right if you don't answer me.
Well, I'm trying to gauge. I can feel something very subtly deep inside.
Describe
And it feels like tiny, sparkly explosions
Okay.
deep inside.
So
It's-
that's the beginning of
It's
this.
quite subtle. I can feel it in my third
Okay.
finger.
Is it staying the same or does it change now?
I can feel it coming up to here. It's kind of spreading.
So there's
Up
more
my
of it,
hand.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yet I'm further away. It's just the opposite of energy. Energy gets weaker with distance.
Mm-hmm.
This becomes stronger with distance. It turns the laws of quantum physics upside down and inside out. So we always feel different sensations with this. There's similar, there's overlap.
Mm-hmm.
I watch the fingers, see how that just moved up. Now this isn't the most comfortable position to do this in with 3 of us squeezed in here, but let's see what we can do. Now, you feel either nothing or you feel something.
No, I feel something, a tingling.
Okay. Staying the same or changing?
It's getting stronger. Changing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you start to feel different sensations with this. And I would feel sometimes hot or cold or pulling or pushing or bubbly or sparkly.
But at the time, what did you think you were doing when you were doing these hand movements
I
with the
had
patient?
no idea. I was simply feeling sensations, following the feeling without judgment, observing what their response was. And as I would do that, I would see tiny little muscles ripple in their forehead, pulling at their lips or their eyebrows. Then I would see their fingers start to move, or their feet, or a whole arm would jerk, and then another one would jerk. Breathing would become jerky and staccato. Muscles in the neck would vibrate a certain way. Their eyes would be darting back and forth when they'd open their eyes. They started reporting seeing colors they'd never seen before, smelling fragrances of flowers they had never before smelled.
But they come and paid you to manipulate bones, and you were doing this.
After.
Yeah? So...
I did the adjustment.
Right.
I adjusted their spine, and then I told them to lie down and relax.
Yeah.
And let the adjustment settle in.
Mm-hmm.
They had their eyes closed. They didn't know what I was doing with my hands.
I was just
but
wondering...
their bodies responded.
And what changes were they reporting after that?
Healings, real healings. They were getting up out of wheelchairs, some of them. Vision and hearing returning. Children with cerebral palsy or epilepsy were able to walk and run and play and speak normally, not have seizures, not require medications. My patients would call, their parents would call, their doctors would call. They'd say, "What did you do?" I said, "I didn't do anything, and don't tell anybody," which went over just about as big as the American government trying to just say no to drugs. You know, soon everyone started coming in from everywhere, going, "I'll have what she had," and the next thing we know, people were saying, "Teach this," and I said, "Teach it? You've got to be crazy. How do you teach something like this? I'm standing there, I'm waving my hands in the air, looking like an idiot. So you go outside, wave your hands in the air. Let me know what your neighbors have to say about it." Yet, more and more of my patients would call me when they got home and say, "I pulled up in front of my house with the car, and before I could hit the button to open the automatic garage door, it opened by itself." Or I walked inside the house, my lamp or my TV started turning on and off and on and off. I felt sensations in my hands. I would hold them by my grandfather, who could walk again after the stroke, or my uncle or aunt regained her sight or his hearing, and we began to observe that once you interact with this more comprehensive spectrum of healing, it takes us beyond energy and into new aspects of light and information. Something changes within us, physically, physiologically, biologically. I mean, we have 5 studies so far internationally, with a 6th one being planned, that demonstrates that reconnective healing actually restructures or changes your DNA, your very DNA. And as you access this and interact with it, you're not only able to access your own healings, but you're able to facilitate healings for others as well.
Is this also what was happening with your clients? That they were going home and affecting changes in other people? Wow.
And so I finally agreed to speak to a group of people. We got about 25 people in an adult education class together. I had no idea what I was going to do with them. I got a massage table. I told them the story about how this came about. I let them feel it in their hands. I had one person lie down, one person stand up. Showed them how to do it. The same responses were happening to the people on the tables. Sent them out, released them onto an unsuspecting planet. And today, the book, The Reconnection, is in 36 different languages. I've trained approximately 75,000 people around the world. A good 20% of them are mainstream healthcare practitioners, doctors, nurses, physical therapists. Another 30% are masters and grandmaster teachers in energy healing who are recognizing that our techniques themselves become our glass ceiling of limitation. And want to learn how to transcend the technique.
I'm interested in that. How are these healers changing their attitude? Because I've read a quote somewhere about... sorry.
Sure.
Let me just come up
While
with my
she's looking
quote.
for that, can I ask you, do we all have healing abilities? Can anyone be a healer?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, maybe more than pretty much. I would say everyone, because the other 50% of the people who come to the seminar are mainstream, everyday people from all walks of life with no background in healing, be it mainstream healthcare or be it energy or spiritual healings. And actually, they learn it the best, the easiest, because they've got the least dogma, fear, ritual, attachment to let go of.